Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. I think we can start. It's already 9. Okay. Welcome to the COP Innovation Talk 2020. And before we start the talk today, let's begin with the recitation of Quran Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Ar-Rahmanirrahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Nasta'in. As-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ma ba'du. Welcome to the Innovation Talk 2022. And thank you very much for all of respected professor, associate professor, or respected academician and students in IIUM and other university. This is the platform on learning and sharing knowledge on how we commercialize our product based on the our research finding. So now we have a very renowned academician who has vast experience in how to commercialize our product based on our innovations. First is Associate Professor Dr. Farahidah Mohammed. She is a Deputy Director of Innovation and Commercialization Unit at RMC IIUM, and she is also a lecturer at the Department of Pharmaceutical Technology, Kulliyyah of Pharmacy, IIUM. Second is Dr. Mohammed Zulkifli Mustafa. He is the Managing Director of the Brainy Syndrome Berhad, Malaysia, and he is also a lecturer at Department of Neuroscience, USM. So we will have 2 hours until 11:30 this morning, and the first session will be given by Dr. Farahidah Muhammad, who would like to share her CV. Yeah, let me read her CV. Okay. Associate Professor Dr. Farahidah Muhammad received the Bachelor in Pharmacy from the Strathclyde University in 1999. Used to work at the community pharmacies and government hospital before decided to pursue her PhD in 2004. And then after that, she obtained her PhD in 2008 from Strathclyde Institute of Pharmacy and Biomedical Science, Scotland. She has been leading various research projects funded by various agencies and ministries. She had also received industrial grants to lead and coordinate GMP associated training, and has participated in more than 30 international conferences, has more than 30 publications, and supervised more than 17 PG student, master and PhD student. The total research grant, she received quite a lot, 2.4 million ringgit SPI, for 9 research projects. She was with ICOP, Syndrome Berhad, as acting CEO from August 2014, and left ICOP for good in January 2021. Recently, she has been appointed as Deputy Director, Innovation and Commercialization Unit, RMC IIUM. Currently, her research team focusing on designing various dosage forms by fusioning contemporary medicine with prophetic natural traditional product, with the aim to create the synergistic effect, to reduce the overall toxicity, to improve compliance, and to reduce the overall treatment cost. 4 of her research products have been commercialized, and she had become one of the finalist for the award of Malaysia Commercialization Year, organized by MOSTI in 2017. While with COP, towards the end of 2017, ICOP has been awarded a government tender to supply her research product, namely Ajasic and Isalic, for 4 years, with tender value about 5 million ringgit. She has been invited as speaker or panelist in various platforms in Ministry of Health, several university international level. And she is also a committee member of the DUNAS, Dasar Debat Nasional, Halal Technical Committee, and has been nominated by IIUM as Merdeka Award nominees for 2016. Being an academician, she also received several awards at several international conferences. And in 2016, she has received the Most Outstanding Research Award at CRIM IIUM. Also in 2018, as top most Myra contributor of IIUM. And also in 2019, received the Commercialization Award from IIUM Tatunde as well. She had and has been appointed as external examiner for undergraduate programs at International Medical University Malaysia, UNIZA, UNIKL. And latest, one more of her research product just received MAL number from NPRA. However, yet to be launched. Okay, this is very active, yeah, very active in emission, especially in conversation. And now we will hear from her regarding her presentation on how to commercialize your research. So, Dr. Farahidah, would like to invite you, and the floor is yours now.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabbihi. Allahumma shalli ala sayyidina Muhammad an-nuri dzati wa sirri sari fi sa'iri al-asma'i wa sifat. Allahumma shalli ala sayyidina Muhammadin al-fatihi lima ughliqa wal khatimi lima sabaq wa nasiri al-haqqi al-haqq wal hadi ila siratal mustaqim wa ala alihi wa sahbihi haqqa qadrihi wa miqdarihi azim. Alhamdulillah, thank you very much Dr. Alfi for inviting me to share my little experience with commercialization of research. I think Dr. Alfi already elaborated on my background, so we will proceed straight away to what I have here today to share with everyone. Okay, so for the outline, I'm going to touch on what is commercialization, and actually this sharing information can be obtained later in our soon to be published book from RMC. So my chapter in this book is on commercialization. So we touch half of the contents within my chapter. And Dr. Alfi, I think this is just first part because I cannot complete all talking about commercialization within 1 hour time. Okay, so this is just actually first part of it. I'm going to touch on what is commercialization, and I'm going to illustrate with a case example, giving Ajasic as the case example, and then I'm going to proceed on the technology readiness level, TRL. I'm sure everyone already heard about TRL, but maybe we can get more info on TRL in this webinar today. So finally, I will share with you why we need to do this commercialization. Inshallah. Okay, what is commercialization? There is, I think, various definition on commercialization, but I finally summarize it in this sentence. Simple sentence. It's a process that requires an entire value chain in place. It's actually a process. Okay, whenever it involves process, you need the characters in that process, and you need the process flow. Okay, so this is a process that requires entire value chain. So first of all, today we are going to learn what is value chain. Okay. So I'm going to give you some example. How to make. Okay. So for example, if we have a research product which is an innovative tablet, because my field is in pharmaceutics, I'm designing various dosage form, but I'm quite familiar with a certain dosage form lah. So basically, for if you have a research product which is an innovative tablet or a pill to deliver COVID-19 medicine, okay, whatever it is, maybe it is a natural extract from ketum. It can be an extract that you make, you design it into a palatable or convenient dosage form to be taken. Can be by oral, can be by injection, can be by pulmonary delivery, can be by topical. Okay, so this is your research product. It's an innovative one. Okay, so is what are the entire value chain of these innovative tablets? Okay, I already listed down. Maybe the list is not exhaustive, but these are the fundamental one that we need to get it in place in order for us to do the commercialization, the process, to make the entire value chain in place. Okay, so we need to identify our raw material suppliers. We need to identify packaging suppliers. Okay, packaging materials. Raw materials, if it is a tablet, the raw materials will be all the powders, start from the API itself. It could be the therapeutic herbal extract just now I mentioned as herbal extract, ketum. Okay, so the packaging, it could be, if it is a tablet, so the packaging will be in blister pack or bottles. Okay, so you need to identify. Then the machine. If it is an innovative, you may have an inventive or innovation related to your dosage form. It is normal, maybe not normal tablet, simply the compressed powders and then you coat with film. Okay, it could be a control release medication, so you may need a different type of machine. So we need to identify, this is within our entire value chain. We need to identify who are our machine suppliers. Okay, if you have already a factory that already have similar machine, that is fantastic enough. Okay, but if not, we have to identify. Okay, so the next is to identify the factory or manufacturer, whether there exists any factories who already have the machine that we require for our purpose or not at all. If it is a too innovative formulation, you may have to start from scratch. Okay, and that will take long time. Okay. And then entire value chain, what else? We need chemicals. We need chemicals, reagent supplier, because whenever we do a tablet, we need to test. Okay, we even during the formulation or the tablet manufacturing itself, it needs some binding agent, that needs some chemicals, that needs some solvents. Okay, so we need to identify chemicals, reagent suppliers. This is chemical reagent suppliers actually more related to all the quality control testing. Okay, and then the regulators. If it is a medicine based, we need to identify who are our regulators and what kind of regulatory requirements that we need to fulfill in order for our product tablet can pass a certain regulatory requirement before it can be launched. Okay, and the next in the value chain is our distributors. Okay, after we already, let's say we already pass and get MAL number for medicine, we need to have a approved number before it can enter market. So who are going to market this? We need to define the sales channel, and hence we need to know who are our distributors. Is the distributors a new one or an existing one in the market? Okay. Okay. Then we, of course, for commercialization, we need funders or investors. Okay, basically we need money. before any products can enter market. Okay, the next is the marketer, the one that will do all the marketing for these new products. If it is a highly demanded product and world like pandemic, COVID, it's highly demanded, and your products get already passed certain clinical trials, tested until clinical trial phase 3, it proved to be very safe and very has a high efficacy. So, of course, you don't really need a marketer to do the job. You just knock the door of government or just publish, still the marketing parts. Okay, you need to publish. You need to publish in nowadays using social media. But if this is very formal things related to the world demand, you will need to know who are the appropriate networking to do your marketing parts. Okay, and finally the end users. Okay, end users, again, it depends on your sales channel and your target market. It can vary according to your products. If let's say COVID-19, it can also be a normal person like us come to the pharmacy and we are the end user. Okay, or your end user could be your doctors that will buy the tablets now. So basically the whole process, the process of commercialization is a process that need this to be in your value chain. Okay, so basically the commercialization is a process that require, you already seen the value chain, what is inside the value chain. So we need to commercialization is a process that require preparation of a business model. And not only business model, we need talents, okay, to execute and manage overall commercialization process. Okay. Business model and talents. Today we are going to know more about this business model and talents. Hopefully after our webinar, we have done this webinar, you still remember what is business model, what is talent. Okay, from my lecture, from my sharing session today. So business model is basically related to this. Very easy. There are a lot of model. There are a lot of type how to display or how to present your model. But I think the easiest one for us who are not really who are not learning all these business during our childhood, don't really have this kind of experience. We just learn this business model canvas, BMC. Okay, BMC. In fact, mostly grant for type 1 or type 2, they also ask us to come up with BMC in preparation of our proposal. So what is BMC? We need to craft our own BMC based on the entire value chain. Okay, what are the entire value chain just now is actually can be summarized in this BMC. Okay, the first one, we need to know our key partners, whether it is internal or external. This is an example of a BMC for a medicine. Okay, so we need to identify our key partners, internal, external. The external, just now, all the distributor, packaging, supplier, your entire value chain. And we can have also, we need to identify what kind of, during commercialization, what kind of activities we need to do. Okay, what kind of process that will be involved. So you will have these key activities we need to define. Manufacturing of commercial batches. We need to do lab analysis after that. We need to do marketing and promotion. We need to do some trading. Right? So key resources is very related to the talents that I mentioned just now. Okay, key resources, whether they are an existing talents or we need to nurture or train them until they become skillful to do the job or competent to do the job. When we talk about medicine, it is also a highly regulated industry, medicine. So there are GMP, there are quality management system that is related. So the things like quality management system, the GMP aspect, all need to be learned. As let's say as principal investigator for your own project, you need to know all of this. Okay, at the back of your fingertips. Okay. So for key resources, we need to establish stable, let's say like this, establish a stable internet network, because right now we are very all the IR4, all the IT is there, IoT and whatnot. We need to still keep abreast to the changes and try to maintain, update our knowledge according to what is necessary in the future. Okay. And then we need to also determine our value proposition, or similar to unique, your unique selling points, okay, for your invention. If your invention is medicine, COVID, to treat COVID, so what are the value proposition? Is it halal? Is it innovative? Is it cheap? And maybe you have an added value or added service followed with your new innovative products. Okay, could be. Okay, then customer relationship, channels, market channels, customer segments, everything here need to craft your own business model canvas. So the exercise that when you start crafting your own BMC, you will see where are the loopholes. If the loopholes, let's say you cannot find raw material supplier, existing raw material suppliers, how can you proceed with your commercialization? So you need to go back and solve the problems of raw material suppliers. If let's say I am developing a new product, pulmonary delivery, but I'm going to use a new device, the inhaler system, a new design of inhaler system. Is there any, I need to check whether there is packaging supplier that will be able to do the design that we want. Okay. So these are the purpose of doing business model canvas as part of the process before we enter commercialization, even before, so that you can check where are the loopholes, you can check the gaps of your research, and you can try to fulfill the gaps. Maybe not by yourself, but you need to go around and ask other people to help. And that is where interdisciplinary research is very important. Okay, so under BMC itself, we also have cost structure and revenue streams. Okay. So for the cost structure, during your R&D at lab scale, especially, you can start to calculate your costs of the cost to produce your product. What is the cost for raw materials? Meaning that you need to know who are the suppliers and who are the bulk suppliers. Okay, it not necessary to be from Malaysia. Usually for raw material supplier, for medicine especially, the biggest supplier of raw materials are from India or China. Okay, and their raw materials quality are very good. No issue with the quality. Just need to find a suitable one. Okay. So for cost structure, we need to learn more in depth for cost structure. So basically, for BMC, this is it. You need to try to craft your own BMC and try to find the holes of your research where you can fill in the gaps before you can start for commercialization. Before you can start to think. And in fact, when you do this, you can also see if there are too many loopholes, there are too many gaps. You can even think about the risk of your research, whether you still want to continue or proceed with the existing research, or you want to divert a bit to find something that is low hanging fruits. Okay, easier to develop, easier to reach market, and actually there is demand in the market. Demand meaning by end users are looking for it. Okay, your target clients are looking for it. Okay, this is again same issue with the commercialization. It's a process, and all this entire value chain we need to identify, is it new, can we find existing suppliers for our raw materials, or is it a totally new one? If let's say I am developing an innovative tablet for COVID-19 from ketum extract, maybe my extraction method is different and there's none in the whole world, in China or India, having the same ketum plantation, and they don't even have extraction method. Or they maybe have extraction method already in place in their manufacturing facility, but they don't really have the plantation of ketum. So how I'm going to proceed with the commercialization? This is definitely a gap. Okay, so these are the gap for ketum plantation. There's no. That's why whenever referring to those research that are focusing on extraction of herbals, any kind of herbs or plants, or even extraction from animals, the first thing you need to ensure is the plantation to have a sustainable supply of your raw materials. It's a challenging. Okay, so these are all the lists that we can go through one by one, existing or new, existing or new, existing or new, etc., etc., etc. And then we need to also check, because we have a checklist, a very good checklist I already give you today. Okay, so for innovative tablet, because it is very innovative, if it is very innovative, some of the regulators they don't really have the rules or regulatory requirement put forward for this kind of innovative tablet, whether they want to categorize in whether the categorization is already there, available in their guideline or not. Okay, so that's why we need to give ourselves and look at ourselves to see relevant regulators and find out if we come up with this innovative dosage form, let's say, what kind of regulatory requirements we need to fulfill, whether they are available or not in the guidelines, something like this. Okay. If you're from engineering background and developing an engineering or IT stuff, okay, you also it is your responsibility to find out who are your manufacturers and whether it is related to any regulation or not. Okay, I suppose the safety part is there, safety regulation, safety rules. All right, now I'm going to move on to case example. As mentioned by Dr. Alfi, I was the finalist for Malaysian Commercialization Year organized by MOSTI in 2017. And during that time, we have this, I was the acting CEO at ICOP, and we have this IJSIC. So ICOP is the industry partner. IJSIC is being developed by researchers at Kulliyyah of Pharmacy. Okay. Okay. So as I mentioned, commercialization is process. So now we try to look at the related process that involve. Okay, first is the industry partner I mentioned, which is ICOP, and whether they have ready talents or not. If we don't have, we need to there will be more time spent to develop the skills or to train them so that they can have a suitable, appropriate competency to execute the commercialization process. So in this case, we have production. Okay, production people, personnel. This is I think everyone know what is this. This is a typical organization chart. Okay, for any organization. So this is a simple organization chart that I can share with you from for ICOP. Okay, we have the acting CEO, and usually if it is a spin-off company, the principal investigator is responsible for his own or her own products. So basically, they will be the one on top. As managing director, like Dr. Zul is going to give our talk soon shortly after this. Okay, so we need to think of the talents, because commercialization need talents. So you have for ICOP or IJC as case example here, we have several HODs, and then we have personnel that will taking care of the production, the machines part. Okay, the one R&D, especially to fine tune or to fulfill all the other regulatory requirement during the process of registration. Okay, and then we need a quality assurance HOD and the personnel QA executive. Okay, because this is a medicine, the manufacturer must be a GMP certified manufacturer. If we start from scratch, the factory may be very new, just getting all the machines inside without any certificate of GMP. So everything is new. We need to start new. We need to train all people. We need to know the what is GMP basically, what is GMP and what is the quality management system suitable and relevant to manufacture marketed IJC just now. Okay, so this is the process. Okay, IJC yet to be marketed. You can imagine we have to come out with all these kind of talents first. Okay, after the talents, we will need to qualify our facilities, utilities in the plant. Okay, and this is just an example for IJC. Right. So when we want to commercialize this kind of medicine, okay, we already find out our raw material suppliers, and even inside the content, raw material suppliers, and also the packaging. So the tubes, where we can find all these kind of suppliers. We need to talk to other industry players. Yeah, we need to make contact with them. And for medicine, we need to learn what kind of regulatory requirements need again and again and again. So for IJC, it is a medicine, OTC, over-the-counter products. This one no need any doctor's prescription. Okay. So what is the regulatory requirement? It is fall under a bridge evaluation, where we need to prepare something like this. Pamphlet, what is the inside content of the pamphlet? The content of the pamphlet actually related to, it can be gotten from literatures or from reference product. Okay, we sometimes have a reference product. If it is not really not highly innovative, no one has ever done this kind of dosage form, you need to come up everything by your own. Okay, that is long, and you need to start from all the timeline or the pathway from the new chemical entity until clinical trial, preclinical study, clinical trial, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, to develop this content. Okay, that is medicine. Okay, so for IJC, it is not really innovative. It's just mixtures of ointment. We know the equipment already there, the suppliers already there. Okay, so we just need to know more on the regulatory part, especially on the labeling for medicine. What to do next is the stability study. Okay, stability study is another long things to be discussed. Okay, but that is just an example. So another example is within your BMC just now, you have to produce your own unique selling point, right? USP or value proposition. So these are an example. You can come up with your product differentiation, comparing your own product with other products manufactured by existing pharmaceutical company. Okay, in this case, IJC is compared with Dept and we compare with Menza. Okay, for halal certified, Menza don't have, but IJC have. APIs, we have the highest number of APIs, 5. The rest only 2. Okay, and our concept. So these are some of the novelty aspect of IJC. as an example. So when we do the marketing, we need to highlight all these product differentiation or USP. Okay, if you remember, there is a sales channel and target market in the BMC. Okay, so for IJC, we have this target market, MH, cost, private or private channels, or maybe export, and then maybe other halal market. Okay, so what is the prospect? Prospect is more than 1 million actually. So for IJC, or if you have your own products developed, now you need to craft and you need to find out what is your target market. Okay, for IJC, when we develop, if you remember, this tube, it is 20 gram tube. Okay, because we did not contact MOH and find out what are their demand or their specification for this kind of or similar products, methyl salicylate as active ingredient, we develop 20 gram. But when we know their demand and the tender coming out, they actually want 30 gram. Okay, so that is another gap that will extend or prolong your products before it can really get to the really fulfill the specification from the end user. So here basically we can say that end user, or because they are the one who buy from us or pay us, it is a MOH. So we need to know the tender spec. Okay, in the case of IJC, so you really need to know your own end user specification of products that they really want. How to know that? We can do simple minimum viable products. You can do some brochures and tests where the people are looking forward to have this kind of products. This is one of way how to do and test your market. Okay. Okay. Sales channel. Okay. It is also the within the BMC just now. It's the sales channel. From ICOP, this product will be distributed to where? Is it if we have distributor? Yes. If you direct channel to government through Pharmaniaga, so you need to identify everything like this. Okay, and draw your own. Okay. So now I'm going to move to TRL. Finish about case example. I'm going to talk now on TRL. Okay, TRL is a technology readiness level. NASA coined this term. Corresponds to for us. We just need to know what is TRL because mostly ask us to determine what is our technology readiness level whenever we want to apply for mostly grants. Okay. So every one of you can also start to determine where are you now, your TRL now. And for commercialization specifically, which level actually this TRL? Okay, TRL, this is, let us look at what is TRL first. This is the flow of TRL. I got this from mostly website. Okay, TRL is designed by NASA to evaluate and determine technology maturity and commercial readiness. Okay, so if we have the scale from 1 to 9, 9 is the correspond to our commercialization, the process of determining your raw material supplier, etc., etc. Actually, before you even start to apply or submit your proposal to mostly, we need to do all the background checkup, like what I mentioned just now. You craft your BMC first, and then you determine all your raw material supplier, packaging supplier, chemical reagent supplier, etc., etc., and ask them quotations. Because when you submit the grant application, you mostly would like to know all the quotations already inside the application form. Okay. So these are the TRL, number 1 until number 9. Number 1 is basic research. Number 2 is technology, formulated. 3, proof of concept. 4, feasibility demonstration. 5, technology development. Sometimes I think they are just overlapping. But Alhamdulillah, I've already determined for medicine, especially for the R&D related to medicine. After this, I'm going to show you. Okay. So number 6, TRL, viability demonstration. Sama juga demonstration. Number 7, commercial transition. And number 8, technology demonstration. And number 9, commercial. Okay, commercialization. So commercialization is correspond to TRL number 9. Okay, prior to commercialization stage, any R&D is of course expected to already arrive at TRL 7 or TRL 8. Okay. Okay, I'm going to you.
Dr. Farahidah, I think putus-putus ya. Your internet is not stable. Sorry ya, maybe Dr. Farah is disconnected due to the internet problem. So can we wait for some times? So I am connecting, calling Dr. Farah. So we'll wait. Okay, Dr. Farah?
Okay, Dr. Yes, terputus, disconnected.
Yeah.
Share screen, and it's good. I can see we have less than 50 minutes. Jadi I kena cepat-cepat. There are more than 10 slides to go. Okay, TRL. Mana dia TRL? From beginning. I did mention about TRL just now. So that one still within connection, Dr. Alfi tadi, TRL.
Tadi
terputus di mana?
Sampai di terus.
TRL
Lagi ya, TRL.
Right. Okay, Alhamdulillah. Okay, TRL tadi I already mentioned number 1 until number 9. I'm going to show you TRL of medicine that I think actually I designed myself. TRL for medicine. So for those researchers who are involved in developing any medicine or any medicine, obviously medicine is very highly regulated. So you need to know a lot of things. Okay. So for TRL number 1, basic principle observed right now, just now, right? From the mostly TRL ladders. Okay. So it is basically correspond to physical chemical properties of drug or excipient, and it can actually be based from any reported journals. But if it is a very new, you extract yourself from daun ketum just now. Okay, you need to do this characterization of physical chemical properties of your extract, ketum extract. Then you report in journal, you publish. Okay. So for TRL2, and then we will move to pre-formation study, which include biocompatibilities and compatibility studies. It depends on your formulation and intended use. If it is just by oral, you don't really need biocompatibility study. You just do compatibility study related to the extract ketum with other excipients or other excipients of your formulation that you want to do. So done, TRL2. Then TRL3 is to test your extract. Sometimes it can be overlapping or concurrently done. Okay, TRL2 and TRL3. So you can test your ketum extract for in vitro cell lines. If it is meant for pulmonary delivery, maybe you want to test cell lines related to lung cell lines. If you have for cancer, of course, cancer, okay, testing. Then once you've done that, you now move to TRL4. It is a lab scale formulation of your dosage form, tablets or suspension or emulsion or nano emulsion or whatnot, nano encapsulation, mesoporous silica, etc., etc. Okay, and you need to test the if tablet quality testing. And during this TRL4, more testing needed, including AMD, analytical method development, to test your ketum extract just now, whether it is active, still potent, still has the quality specification after it is being encapsulated in polymers, for example, or after it has been made into complex tablets, etc., etc. Okay, so this is TRL4. After that, TRL5. Okay, TRL5, formulation optimization and method validation. Okay, you already developed the method how to quantify ketum from your dosage form, and now you want to validate the method. And this analytical method validation is part and parcel of regulatory requirement to develop medicines. So because I already know what is regulatory requirement related to medicine before we can launch in the market, part of it is to have analytical method validation. So that's why I put it, I arrange it nicely in TRL5. Okay. So for formulation optimization, you can use all those design software like responsive phase methodologies, etc., etc. Okay, to optimize your formulation. That is TRL5. I think I don't have much time to complete the whole slide. And then this slide not moving pula. Hello, Dr. Alfi.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
you can summarize it.
Disconnected dah. Okay, that are 6, 7, 8, and 9. Later, once our book published, you can go through for the whole things. Okay, then for manufacturing, we also have in the book, chapter book, going very fast now. Why need commercialization? Very simple. Personal gain, KPI, MIRA. Of course, I think everyone, when they want to do proposal, they come up with problems, right? So your problems, what is the problems? Is it our own problems, our community problems? And then you want to give better choice for your whoever have the problems. And commercialization is actually related to, very, very related to earning profit, doing transaction of business transaction. It is actually following the sunnah. And in the chapter, I also have this personal gain or for MIRA, whatever it is, there are a lot of points. Okay, you can see later. And why need commercialization? Because of that lah. Some of the reason is to earn some side incomes, valid side income, royalties. After you sell your products, you can earn some royalties. And the rest is something like very environmental friendly and whatever to improve the lives. And these are all the reasons. Everyone can come up with their own reasons. All right, so Talfi and the right and everyone, Alhamdulillah, we come to the last slide summary. Okay, to summarize, first of all, I think this is my personal opinion. Okay, first of all, we need to focus, really focus, and focus time 1,000 times. Focus, okay, and choose whether you want to start your product that you want to commercialize later on based on your value demand, meaning that you have your own creation, you have your own invention, whether this has you want to offer to the industry or you want to offer to community. So you start with your value demand, or is it really a community industry demand? So you need to choose. Try to reflect and try to think of this and then focus lah. based on my experience, Dr. Alfie read that I have a lot of projects, right? Grants, and some of the grants not really successful. It has to be terminated due to certain various issues. Okay, but the thing is, we need to focus. So this is my important message to all of you here, that we need to focus and we try to choose. And after this, we're going to listen to Dr. Zul. I think Dr. Zul is very focused man, and he's very successful. Okay, so the next thing is we need to have a basic understanding related to value chain, okay, and talents in your field. So these are part of the commercialization process. And I think everyone can start crafting your own business model canvas. While doing so, whatever it is, of course, we need to make good intention or renew your intention, renew our intention ROI, so that we can get a good ROI, return of investment. So ROI has two meaning: renew our intention to get a good ROI. Okay, for the benefit of dunia and akhirat, insyaAllah. And then duit lah, macam biasa, doa, usaha, ikhtiar, tawakal. Okay, Dr. Alfie, Alhamdulillah, I think I have to end my sharing session today. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Dr. Farahidah, with all the knowledge that you have shared with us. Very valuable for us. So we have now the. Can we go to question and Q&A session, yeah, Dr. Farahidah? Yeah? Okay. I think I would like to ask the floor. Maybe any questions from floor?
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Alfie.
Yes.
You can have a quick question, please. This one was forwarded to me by Dr. Shahrir to Dr. Farah. The question is, in the business model canvas, why there is no cost structure for items such as marketing and promotion and website in the cost structure? Both items should be paid for professional services, but it's not in the cost structure in the business model canvas. Is that something that should be included in there, or is separately?
Okay, cost structure, the one that I've shown you is a simplified one, is a very example. Okay, example. So you mentioned about the professional service. Anything that involves cost until your product is finally reach your customer, you need to put in the cost structure. Okay, including whatever yang I mentioned tadi.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, maybe another questions. So in the chatting box, I have one question from Dr. Ami Nordin. Yeah. Salam doctor, do we need to have the product sampling or product launching before commercialization?
Okay, Brother Ami is my
Brother.
Senior executive officer at my unit lah.
Yeah.
Product launching. Okay, product launching, we can start with soft launching, hard launching. If we don't have money, we just start soft. And it is actually meant after it is part of the process, but at the end, towards the end of the commercialization process. Commercialization is a process, right? To make sure all the value chain appear in place. And the product launching is at the end. After you already, let's say in medicine case just now, we already have the MAN number, and then with MAN number, we need to start to print on the label, on the tubes, and on the boxes. And after that, we have one batch, first batch of commercial batch. We call it commercial batch. Okay, first batch. So that first batch, if we already have ready customer, like tender with MOH already signed, so we don't really need product launching. But if we don't, we still start to find who are our customers, who are our clients, who are going to buy? Yes, you need to start with all these marketing strategies. Product launching is part of and parcel of marketing strategies. Thank you, Brother Ami. I believe Dr. Zul can also elaborate.
Yes, maybe Dr. Zul, if you want to elaborate as well, you are welcome. Okay, another question in the chat box. Thank you, doctor, for the sharing. AMD must be conducted by certified laboratory or researchers can do by themselves in their own lab. From Dr. Suhaila Muhammad Omar.
Oh, okay. Apa nama? AMD must be conducted by certified laboratory or researcher can do by themselves. Okay. During AMD, it is a development, kan? Analytical method development. So development can be done in our lab, not certified. Can be done. I mean, our lab, of course, our lab not certified, so we can do in our lab. This is to reduce some cost, and we don't really need to send out using a certified lab during the developing stages of the AMD, because you're still developing. You're not really sure what is the optimized flow rate, for example, for the chromatography. What is the way you want to prepare your sample prep, etc., etc. Okay, and in fact, sometimes you don't really know what is the best method for quantification for your drugs or for your extract, whether GCMS or whether what kind of columns of chromatography, HPLC, etc., etc. So these are the developing stage. So once you got your method right, then you can send to certified laboratory for them to come out with AMV, analytical method validation. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, so nothing in the chat box. Maybe more questions from the floor? Maybe I have one question, Dr. Farahidah. IP in patent, is it part of the value chains or only required for the feasibility study and business plan? The IP, is this considered as part of the value chains or not, or just considered
part of value chain? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Whether it is whether IP, intellectual properties, is part of value chain or not. It is part of value chain because the one who the value chain, the IP is the product, but inside the value chain is the my IPO. Okay, my IPO is the one who runs all these IP registration. And of course, for the university who monitor the unit or center that monitor all this IP belongs to university. Okay, it is part of value chain, Doctor.
Okay.
Yes, you're correct.
So meaning that IP
So
is
next topic, next session, I'm going to share the procedures in Malaysia, in UIA. How can any PI would like to go in the direction of commercialization? What are the process? Okay, that will in registering your IP with us.
Okay.
Can I explain sekarang?
Ini putus-putus ya, Dr. Farah. It's not your internet not stable. I cannot.
Okay, my internet strength is good. Full bars.
Yeah. Okay.
So for IP, you want me to answer again for IP? IP is part of value chain, yes.
Yeah.
Before you apply for commercialization grant, it is expected for you to apply and have your own IP registered. Okay, your IP will be registered under my IPO. It's a.
But before we start our commercialization, is it the IP is must or optional?
It's a good practice to do so. It's not a must in any organization. It's not a must to have. Kalau tak buat tu dosa tu memang confirm tak. Tapi kalau tak buat, tak boleh berlaku commercialization pun tidak. You can proceed, but of course there is risk when you proceed for commercialization process without having your IP registered.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
There's some industries and some
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Farahidah. I think no more questions from the floor. With that, I can conclude the conversation is considered from the how to choose the value demands. You need to consider entire value chains and talents. So that's my the summary of this talk from Dr. Farahidah. So with that, thank you very much, Dr. Farahidah. So for your sharing, knowledge sharing with us, very interesting, and thank you very much again. Okay, next, I think we can proceed to Dr. Zulkifli. Yeah, Dr. Zulkifli are ready with us now. So before that, I would like to read the CV from Dr. Zulkifli. Wait, I need to open it. Okay. So,
Dr. Alfi,
yeah.
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
There is a video corporate presentation from Brainy.
Yeah, I will share after I read the CV from Dr. Zulkifli. Is it okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. So I will read the CV of Dr. Okay, where is the CV? Okay. CV of Dr. Mohammed Zulkifli Mustafa. He is the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, the DVM PhD Neuroscience. He's a veterinary surgeon with a PhD in brain science. His work on the use of honey to improve memory and learning as well as to tackle brain disease motivated him to look for ways to increase Malaysia's output of high quality honey. As a researcher, his work revolves in oncolytic virus study, molecular cell death analysis, animal modeling for disease that include brain cancer, stroke, epilepsy, and depression. He is currently supervising 7 and has graduated 14 PG students. He has completed 4 national grants and leading another 4 external grants worth over 5 million ringgit. He also published more than 20 research journals, 1 book, and 4 chapters in book. He secured 1 patent and 4 trademarks, and also pending for another 3 patents and 1 copyright. At national level, he initiated the Reinventing Honey Quality RSQ initiative. It set out with what seems like a simple enough goal to improve the quality and marketability of local stingless bee honey. Various acts has been implemented, including establishment of the first GMP ACP ISO 2035 stainless bee honey processing plant in collaboration with industrial partner Honey Gold Malaysia Sdn Bhd. To date, over 3,000 farmers have been trained in the use of the guideline to become a major producers of stainless bee honey in Malaysia. His significant contribution in the field have earned him the National Agriculture Innovation Award 2015 with cash prize 35,000 ringgit, gold medal at Malaysian gold medal at Malaysian Agriculture Innovation Show 2015, silver medal at Pacipta 2017, State Entrepreneur Icon 2017, Excellent Staff Award 2017 and 2018, Best Paper Award at ICH SST UK 2017, Community Leadership Award 2019, and National Agriculture Innovation Award 2020. So he has received an award in national and international level. He is now a founder and currently leading his spin-off Brainy Sdn Bhd, established via the Spark Fund by USM. The company is set out to engineer the stingless bee industry to achieve full potential as the national commodity driven by innovation. I will also share with you the video from the Brainy Sdn Bhd given by Dr. Mohammed Zulkifli Mustafa. So before his talk. Okay, let we see the video, yeah, from the company. Wait, I need to share, yeah. Okay, wait. Can I share the video, Dr. Zulkifli?
Yes, please, Dr.
Okay, wait, I need to share it. Share screen. Okay, very interesting video, Dr. Zulkifli Mustafa, inspiring us a lot. Yeah. Okay, with that, I would like to invite Dr. Zulkifli Mustafa to present his knowledge. Yeah, his sharing to share his experience. So with that, I would like to welcome you, Dr. Zulkifli, and the floor is now yours.
All right, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Allahumma iftah 'alaina hikmataka wa ansur 'alaina min kunzani rahmatika. Thank you, moderator Dr. Alfi, and thank you also Kulliyyah of Pharmacy on this opportunity. Dr. Professor Madya, Professor Madya, doctors, and everyone here. Salam Jumaat, and then. Referring to the spin-off video just now, I'm really sorry. I think there is some connection problem. We have no sound, right? I think maybe later on we can put the video in the chat box. All right. So, but everyone can see the our spin-off video just now, we actually working more on to uphold the bees and the honey, and also at the same time to empowering the community. And looking at the title given, I think there is no specific way of describing on how we should be, an employee to university, because everyone unique with their roles, and same goes to the roles as a scholar to society. But the title actually considered very, very broad, and my sharing will be scope from my work and not necessarily true to everyone. And so we just share our best practice, and no specific right or wrong, but I try to put everything according to my journey of doing research, and at the same time achieve some recognition in community engagement project, and also developing my spin-off. And ultimately, I hope from this talk we could see CE, community engagement, is a useful platform for academia, particularly for commercialization. All right. So right. Actually, I just came back from international trip, and still on quarantine, and then this pictures some of our proud moment this week, where our spin-off product, in the chef in Morocco, and for the market testing. And then you can see here my big ambition of bringing the honey to change from the the floor of night market, kedai-kedai tepi jalan, to another level at an international level. All right. So via CE project on the stingless bee or Kulliyyah industry also, alhamdulillah, following the what we call the community engagement model by USM, I secured more than 5 million ringgit, and I'm actually reported in USM staff in 2015. So since that, I think I actually secured the community grant every year. So only this year I tried to apply FRGS, after 6 years. All right. So, and then this is the pictures of our factory. On the left is the honey factory that we developed with the industrial partner, and then this Kulliyyah factory actually certified with the GMP, HACCP, and Halal ISO 20000 and NIST. And under another grant, we currently developing our second GMP factory in Kuantan under the project known as Advanced National Honey Landmark Project, or ANNAHLU. Right. So that's a brief, a little bit, together with explanation by Dr. Alfi just now, sepanjang lebar. Thank you very much. All right. So to begin with, as academics, okay, we are working with our job description, like teaching, research, and whatnot, and later came demands for more specific objective, so-called the KPI, and later people talks about bringing impact, via key intangible performance. And nowadays, academics demand for community engagement and translational. And then for those who are new, according to the business indicator, the tangible, I give one example, in a financial, could be the economic growth, profitability, and etc. But in intangible indicator, it could be the brand value, for example. And this intangible commonly giving a direct influence to the tangible outputs. So like the competency, motivation, and satisfaction to the product are the indicators of intangible that influencing the tangible output. And these KPI and KIP also been studied in academic, where findings provide strong support to conclude that the focusing on KIP on academic staff could further enhance the KPI of the academic staff, right? But the issue now, with all this responsibility to fulfill our JD, our KPI, our KIP, and CE, some of us, mess up. We losing control, and the pressure comes from many angles, and we no fun at all in our career. And finally, we become selfish because of the KPI. And we know we have been trained as a scholar, but within current system, somehow we just be a worker in an academy. We're losing our scholar with no more wisdom. We didn't plan to, but somehow others decide direction for us. With SDG, for example, and other goals, we are being designed, and sometimes it's not our passion. Right? So CE, for example, people demand CE now as our compulsory KPI, and some of us don't like it, but actually some of us don't understand the CE. They thought the CE is just like community services. So yang tak suka campur dengan orang kampung, yang tak suka berpeluh apa semua, they think CE is something yang kita kata membebankan. So it's just too much burden. So, but what if we can have a model that can achieve all of this in one shot, right? So this is the thing that I try to bring here, the thing that I will share in this talk. But at the end of the day, we decide who we want to be, like this analogy. And ada pokok yang tumbuh tinggi, namun daunnya tak bisa menaungi. And ada pohon yang rendah, but actually daun dia lebat dan rindang untuk berteduh. Right? So ada manusia yang kita kata mencapai satu kedudukan, tapi tidak dirasakan manfaat itu, tak sampai. But some people, they are not that high in a position or ranking, but everybody get the impact from him, right? So now we dive to see our current situation. Here is the common path of university lecturer, right? As academics, we have a responsible to as a generator of knowledge and dissemination of knowledge, and also translation of knowledge to the industry and community. So we have invested a lot in research. We publish good papers, we graduate students with patents and etc. But most of the time we fail to reach the community and to the industry. Right? It is because most of us actually tired here. We confined in this area. If we measure the KPI, of course, we surely excellent in our KPI, and we deliver our JD, but yet we unable or fail to translate, and the industry or community cannot get the impact of our presence, right? And so the KIP or key intangible performance seldomly observed beyond the university fans, right? But sometimes people still asking, tak cukup lagi kerja yang ada hari ini hingga kita wajib nak buat CE, right? In USM also, scientists also asking this, but it is clear that our mission is pioneer. USM is a pioneer translational transdisciplinary research intensive university that empower future talent and enables the bottom billion to transform their socio-economic well-being. Jadi the mission is actually very clear, empower the community, and I do believe that most of the local universities and university worldwide having the same aspiration to help and change the society. And so for me, this CE actually is the medium for us to deliver our mission. And another scenario that I love to share is the investment, our investment in R&D. This data is reported by ASM, Academic Science Malaysia, and I got this from a talk by Dato' Asma Ismail, and I believe we saw this many times, right? We have invested too little on the experimental development. We can see in the red dot box there, we are strong or too much at the basic research in blue and red color, and it's almost 80%. And whereas we look at the China 2 bar just above 2 bar above us, it's almost 85% of their investment in the commercialization, as shown in the green color. And see also Japan, the Korea on the top, and how much they spend for experimental development. This will answer us why they are strong in commercializing a new technology. So with this understanding, now we want to move from our current applied research to pre-com, and but the issue is who we expect to deliver. Right? It must come from us because no one knows the research better than us. And so we have to accept the fact that translational is a compulsory to us, and CE could be the medium. And this actually my justification to secure or to get the spin-off approval. So what is CE? Community engagement basically have been defined in many ways, but the essence of CE in higher education, CE is described as the collaboration between higher education and larger community for mutual beneficial exchange of knowledge and resources. The context of partnership and reciprocity while fulfilling organization mission of scholarly research and services. But I also would like to share one easier summary, by a participant in our workshop. We got a laser workshop by ACAP and USM in 2021. He summarized that in practical way, CE is about having a lifelong relationship with community, and it is not a one-off affair. So it is about ensuring being committed and nurturing passion to impact the life of those who need to be pulled up and just be with them to stay. We are here together, empower together. Right? So now, to design an impactful project, people always ask where to start. I could say here, number one, we have to set our purpose, which to inspire humanity, make it away from our JD. So our role is not only to do what we are doing now as academic. I think everybody knows we are the scholar, so we carry this title. The people look at us as those who solve their problem. So therefore, it is important for us to go out and to inspire humanity. So surely some we claim that we do it along with our teaching, and then but for me, without clear circle or border between our job description and our bigger purpose in life, that purpose will be diluted or overshadowed with our busy schedule. And at the end of the day, that we might ask, we question ourselves, what the hell I'm doing? Because this is a true story. One professor, he said he's in the system for 20,000, and so all of a sudden he said, I just don't know what I'm doing. So this is very important for us, particularly a new lecturer, to see this clearly. So for me, I don't want to be a lecturer that just read a textbook and say textbook to the student. So I don't want to die as a worker that, chasing for KPI. So I choose to separate between these two so that I can bring out the wisdom and inspire humanity via my expertise. And most important, tak bergerak slide. All right, I see. And most important, I need to highlight here, the CE is not the single approach and immediately we change people. If it is so, there is no more poverty in our country if we look at all the program that been developed by government to empower our society. So we cannot follow the same method. And in fact, most of the CE project actually works when we are there during our project timeline. But later, after we exit, everything gone. Yeah, most of the time we just stress out because the same attitude in the our target group, right? So, but if we inspire them with a particular goal and bring particular innovation and promote to bring out the best from them, they will change by themselves. So we will see the continuity, the extra effort come from our target community. So and we have to show them where actually we are heading. So with this clear justification on the purpose and we have our CE project to keep moving. Just remember here, I put it in CE as a target group, but when we comes into the commercialization, this target group actually can be our target market. So this is, I come to this later, right? So number two is always start with our ultimate objective, right? And our personal objective or the jabatan or our department objective or our university school objective, the kuliah objective. So because sometimes our expertise is different and we make different type of community project which outside of our expertise. There is also people ask me, uh, tak senang doktor. I mean, we are working on molecular project. Macam mana nak approach community, for example, right? So I share one example here in the dengue study. So sometime in the lab, we are working study on the genetic of that mosquito, or we study any compound against the virus, for example. But the ultimate objective is actually to prevent the dengue. So along the way of our current molecular research, right? So we could actually identify the kampung and the community which endemic with dengue, and then we find a collaborators like Jabatan Pertanian that could provide a biodefense plants yang boleh menghalang nyamuk, right? So we make what we call the CE project, and we train them to produce that plant. So that plant will prevent the dengue in their area. At the same time, we can assist them to put it all the benih that into the poly bag, and they can sell. So along the way, with all our expertise within, reading journals about dengue, reading about journal about the mosquito, about all the technologies targeting dengue, we could deliver to them while doing a simple things in the community, so people will see the impact. Right. So another example, one of my colleague actually producing a new formulation for catfish food, which for him can change the normal catfish into premium low fat and high protein diet. Right. But when he went to the government and industry, nobody buy the idea, because the catfish industry is established, and then they reach to the ceiling of the market price. So he cannot deliver the project. But after brainstorm, he changed the way he pitched, right, the project. Why he invent the food for the catfish actually to produce fish sausage as an alternative to chicken sausage, with ultimately he want to prevent obesity in kids. So now when the moment he set a bigger or impactful goal, he now open for a new transdiscipline collaboration, so people can easily tap in. More stakeholders can understand the project and the direction. So from one initial innovation, now they move to and more potential innovation, and now open up for bigger commercialization. Right. Right, not moving. All right. Okay. Okay, so in my case, USM, for example, we are working on the medicinal honey project for quite long time. So the objective is to promote or prevent for chronic disease, and so that less patient comes to our hospital. So USM started since 2000, year 2000, focusing on the tualang honey research, but somehow we unable to move forward. So when we look further on the issue, we realize that the major gap is the quality of the resources of the honey itself, where more than 80% of honey in the market are fake honey, adulterated honey, air gula. So the saddest part, our honey in our culture just deserve a space on the floor at night market ataupun dijaja di tepi jalan saja. So I remember back in 2010 when I'm doing my PhD. So I'm working on a brain cancer, and unfortunately, my dad diagnosed with cancer. So following several chemotherapy, there are no response, and then we lose hope. Then that time I tried to search for alternatives and look in the Quran that honey is a remedy. So with full of excitement, I went to the to the market to find honey, and sadly to see the honey just on the floor. I mean, very traditional, but the mouth keeps saying, "Oh, this is makanan in the from paradise, makanan sunnah, remedy in the Quran," but it's just on the floor. So this entirely, and then that's particular time I know what I want to do in my life, and then I said, Allah help me, I want to uphold this honey industry. So since that, even though my PhD project is different, I keep working on that particular program to empower the honey industry. So since that, when we encounter alternative honey source from kelululut, from stingless bee, in 2010, we immediately pivot the project and focusing on the kelululut honey. But that particular time, people don't really know how to do the stingless beekeeping, and then don't know how to take care of the kelululut. So that at the moment I introduced the Kulliyyah initiative and reinventing honey quality, with the vision to re-engineer this stingless bee industry to achieve a full potential to become a national commodity. So little bit on this kelululut, the bee is actually native to tropical country only, and you see in the picture, so there's two bees. So the kelululut is the small one, and then they keep the honey in the pots, and then this bee does not sting and therefore safe. You can see the girls sucking the, aspirating the honey, not wearing any veil or protection, because it's safe. And then the stingless beekeeping now growing to become a new job opportunity in rural. And let us find the included honey contains a unique 3 hydrolose sugar. So now honey industry worldwide actually mengintai this potensi of madu kelululut, right? But understanding to our culture and perception towards honey, without strategic planning, the honey will finally end up on the lantai pasar malam again, right? So we are working hard to execute the culinary initiative where we introduce a Kulliyyah means the Kulliyyah-based economy to target community and ecology, where our objective to create the stakeholders for the bees to increase the honey production, improve honey quality, and also to redefine the perception towards honey. And to execute it is very simple strategy. Yeah? We improve the quality of the honey. When the quality of the honey increase and we give better price, which makes the beekeepers happy, with more money. And then because of that, they will do the conservation to the bee, and now the bee is protected to do pollination, and that increase our food, fruits, and sustain our biodiversity. And those, therefore, that forest or plant get their right, crops get their pollination, the bees get their protection and conservation, people in the industry get their money, and we as a scientist get good quality honey that everybody can get a good honey also. So everybody win from this project. So masa PhD tu, I work on this industry, and along the way, I writing my thesis in 2013. I start, um, have another job, so-called another job, working on this. And that time we have a lot of problems, like feral colony hunting. So we need to get the colony from the forest, and then also traditional harvesting, pakai kain sarung macam tu sahaja, and then a poor post-harvest management, and our honey fermenting, and the traditional image. So that time we made several advancements as a total solution to address all this traditional beekeeping. So we invented the hive as a farming solution. We wrote the module books and other solutions. Until now, our honey reached to the GMP manufacturing and also in the international market. And so I take one example. This one, because later on I wish all the lecturers here can look at the CE as a easy things, and then start to look for small problems associated with your area, and then make a small changes and bring it to another level. So one of the simple problem that nobody cares before this is the fermentation in honey. Okay, our problem for honey in tropical is the moisture content that promote the fermentation. So humidity above 60% absorbed by the honey, and this will trigger for the fermentation by the yeast, and with other resources they become active and produce gas and also acetic acid that make the honey sour and berbuih, right? Okay, so the pressure from the gas usually break the bottles, and then the honey therefore cannot be sold in the supermarket. So what our people did, they just put in the bottle and put a plastic and rubber band so that the gas stick can come out. So our honey, regardless, Allah said honey is a remedy, is a makanan sunnah. It just third class product. So understanding to this, I invented the Hilda system, the honey interlink dehydration and dispenser apparatus, where this system dehydrate honey without heating element. So from the first prototype that I just use a very simple innovation, and then I apply for KTP grant, and later I improve the system over the years, and now our system can handle or can dehydrate honey up to 4 tons a month. So now, Alhamdulillah, this small innovation brings me the grants and also the National Agriculture Innovation Award in 2020. And then now, Hilda system is available at more than 15 centers all over Malaysia, and then this center will serve something like kilang padi, and semua orang boleh hantar that honey to the center to get the service of honey dehydration. So this actually the one of the main objective of the Brainy. So now Brainy selling honey is a kind of generate cash money to run our spin-off. So we didn't get particular big grant to sustain. We just receive a fund, is very small money. But our target actually to become like Bernas. We have all the kilang padi all over Malaysia. So everybody go to the factory. They can sell the beras there, or they can use the service and take back their beras. All right. So now, and in fact, we have 12 structured program on this, and this is in Sarawak, for example, deep inside. So in this program, we help the community to establish farm, and then when they harvest the honey, they process in the center and send to our factory. So the project actually provide total solution. And for the economic progress now, this project at the level of GMP certification, we are the level of redefining the honey, and then As I said, we are developing another GMP factory and currently conducting 4 clinical trials. One is completed. Inshallah, we will apply in clinical very soon. And then, alhamdulillah, this culinary initiative recognized as one of the excellent project by KPT as presented to Jemaah Menteri in 2020. But no keraian, because that time immediately we received the letter and then we faced the pandemic. All right. Okay. So the issue now is how do you handle it? All right. People always wonder how with the roles of a lecturer doing in business, working the community. That's the common question is how do you handle it? People ask me. So if we look at back this a journey for a lecturer, we can see we take a long path from our research to reach the community and also the industry. Maybe until we retire, not all can reach this. So because of this, I changed the game, right? So I created my own academic model, Zulkifli academic model or Zulkifli model. Instead of moving from academic world to the community or industry, I created a shared vision model. So when I put one aim, I move to the aim, and at the same time, I drive others to the same aim. Means we grow together. I'm not changing the people here. I show them the direction. So when we grow together with the community, I can be both on both sides to achieve my KPI as a lecturer, and at the same time contribute to society and achieve the KPI. Right. So like this, I can still run my research and then get the students and then write a book, journals, and also achieve other KPI. But when I have also connection with the community, I can be on another side, a lot more grant, which big quantum, but nobody applies. So I don't know, it's not so called nobody, but it's less competitive, compared to other parts. So that's why I'm so happy to be on another side. And but the most important here is number one is the goal, right? The where we are heading. Number two is who is our target group. And number three is the long life learning bridge that connect us along the way with our aim, along with the community itself. So I can tell you, bringing a change in the society is not easy, and then we often get frustrated because everything that we propose not necessarily immediately tackled by them. But if we tie ourselves to a goal, we, alhamdulillah, we will keep moving, because at the end of the day, Albert Einstein once said that if you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or to the object. So regardless whatever output, we still on our path to our goal, and inshallah there is people who will follow us. So here I share the component of this economic model, which to create impact in my career, right? So not only for me, but also impact to the humanity. So my approach involved, number one is the goal, and then also the research circle, the research culture, the tribe, and then the narrative, and also the visibility. Okay, I will explain one by one. For example, goal in our current system, we actually bonded to SDG and other vision, but what about our own goal, our life goal, something that we want to show to our creator, something that make us smile, right? So me, myself, I'm looking to our first principle in Rukun Negara, kepercayaan kepada Tuhan, right? I put that as a main thing first, and then if we look at that, number one is the kepercayaan pada Tuhan. The only visible material is the Quran. So my stainless steel project actually is my work on the verse of a Quran in Surah An-Nahl verse 68 and 69. So therefore every day I live as the servant of Allah to uphold that verse, and the SDG comes to complement my journey. Right? So my work now is actually I put it as ibadah and passion, the thing that I want to do in life. Right? So most when we have goal, we actually can see where we are and where we are heading. So we question ourselves, is it everything that we do now parallel to the goal, or it just scattered away anywhere? Right? So this example, a component that we have in our hand. Okay, this example. If you have a goal and your current research grant, publications, collaboration, and other component parallel to the goal, this is ideal. You know, means you are focused and you are supported by a strong track record. But if your things that you have is scattered and you don't even have a goal, it's very difficult because we cannot see your soul, and you don't know what you want, and people cannot feel you. And if you yourself don't know how university and other cooperators would know, and how people could support our project or collaborate with us, and how people can give a grant to us. Okay, like try this one. I make one practical. You just draw one line and then put your goal there. So, and put other component in your hand now. So if you can see the circle along the way with your goal, it's okay. But if um, it's scattered away, I think we possibly pivot our goal and then rearrange according to the thing that we have. So to create the focus, the track record, and then the expertise itself. All right. And then the next component is the innovation. The thing that connect us to our tribe, our puak, our team, our target group. So because CE is different from community service or community outreach, because community engagement involve the element of innovation. The um, uh, the question now is what kind of innovation that you want to introduce, right? So ada soalan tanya, Dr. Zul, our research is about daun pegaga. So macam mana nak buat CE? So we explore daun pegaga for something, okay? For improve memory and learning everything. But for me, you know a lot about the daun pegaga. So the things that you can do is just you can create a module, simple module tentang khasiat daun pegaga, how to prepare pegaga juice, and also add on some herbal lain. And then you can work with the people in food science and to write that module and make community engagement project with a small restaurant for them to introduce the juice pegaga in their menu. So integrate other component like changing their waste into the compost, and we use it from the compost, plant the pegaga, and that pegaga harvest, make a juice, and then the restaurant become can generate more income. So even though you still working in your lab, working on the molecular, but your presence can be filled by the people in a FMB, for example. And in my case, low quality honey, on the floor in a market, perah dengan tangan, tak basuh, botol, mineral recycle. because of that, I wrote a module to improve the honey quality. Then I go to the Jaringan Industri and Masyarakat in USM, and I said I need a grant to share the knowledge so that the honey quality increase and then the beekeepers get better income. Means the book, the module become a more innovation that I want to introduce to the community. So it can be a book, a video, a kits, an app, application, or particular innovation, or whatever product that you think suitable. So, but if you think it is a module book, make it simple, because make it just a flow chart, very, very simple. So in my case, I'm very lucky that my module have been used by Menteri Besar, and then to discuss with Prime Minister how to uphold the Kulliyyah honey industry. You can see in the hand of Menteri Besar, Dato' Ahmad Yaakob. And then, so now I believe that every scientist in this, current that following this talk, this sharing, you have your own unique things that you could produce your own module, such as from the literature of your thesis or student thesis, to come up with module that could change people in the area that you are in. And this is another example of Tronim module. I put it in on the video, that put it on the YouTube by hidden. So anyone need my course, so I give the registration, and then give the video link so they can look at the video and answer a few questions, and then we provide the certificate. So the CE operating 24 hours, 24 hours. And so from this, all this database, I promote my another innovation to them. Right. So next component is to shape our research culture group. The culture is a set of living relationship working towards a shared goal. So most difficult actually doing this research and then make a community project and later on go for commercialization is handle our team. Very, very difficult. But if everyone shared the same vision, the same goal, you actually didn't control your group. So they are moving together with you. So not only the community, your team, move along with you. And another example for culture that we want to carry is we should promote our group instead of ourselves. So means everyone in our team learn to grow together. All right. So another example that we can hear, our student can read journal, change into layman term, share on the Facebook, share on, make a short video, something that from the journal. So it's not simply a normal claim, but we have basis with the reference. And then next part is to identify your tribe. The puak that you want. Right? So I remember back in 2013 when I invented Hive, the house for the Kulliyyah. So that time, not many stingless beekeepers, people don't know that Kulliyyah can produce honey. So who gonna buy my technology? Means I need the tribe that the user that benefit from my innovation, right? So the purpose of this tribe is, okay, the tribe become the real group that receive benefit from our research, and also the user to our technology, and as can be also the target group when we apply a community grant. And then most important for me that this tribe and become a supporters to us when we try to promote this Kulliyyah industry. Before this, I'm in USM. People, management say, why you want to do something, backyard activity? We are Apex University. We are moving into nanotechnology, biosensor, but you go backward to the project belakang rumah. So where you are heading? But because I have my tribe that keep saying thank you, Dr. Zul, the hive helping me, or my bee start producing honey and I start producing generate income, and then my plant start producing more fruits. So this captured by the university management, and then they see the impact to the society, right? So how to identify your tribe? You can do, it's very simple. Now you just can create what we call the Facebook group, for something that you are in the area, and then you share some knowledge according to genre. So later on, we see people start following, start share the post and start to react. Then those who are react and keep following you is your tribe. All right. Sorry. Oh. Sorry. Right. Okay, and then towards the last one is the number 6 is the narrative of your project. You have to set your story that make it significant in the stakeholders' language. We know we are scientists, and then but if we keep talking on our jargons, nobody actually can read us, right? So if we keep talking on our molecular pathway, nobody could understand us, and then therefore difficult for us to for people to give a grant to us. And I remember this picture actually when I first pitched to Dato' Asma back in 2017, and she said, aku dah lama dengar nama Hang Zul, and then aku tak nak tengok. And aku dah tengok banyak projek madu tak ke mana. And so what makes you different? So that time I didn't talk about honey. I said when community have the bee colony at their house, they are actually the poor people, and they never buy supplement to their kids. So but when they have their honey, they can harvest that natural honey and give to their kids. So help in their kids grow. And then the bee also have to pollinate the coconut tree, all the fruits around their house. From 80 coconut per year become 100 coconut per year. And then when they have honey, they learn to sell the honey, they learn to become entrepreneur. And then when they want more honey to increase their income, they need more nectars. So they need to plant more flowers. So they plant more flower, and from there, the house become beautiful. So with that justification and narrative, people could see the project is not about the honey, it's about using bee to change people. And since that, I can see Prof. Asma, Dato' Asma, helping me to promote this industry a lot. All right. So the narrative is important for you to when you plan to meet our stakeholders. So starting from today, you start write what is the story that you want to carry, and then the final one is the networking. So now very easy via the social media. So it's for the purpose of the visibility. So I remember a few months ago, I met with Pengurusi Yayasan Diraja Sultan Dato' Fazli, and we discussed about helping the B40 in Terengganu. And then after the discussion, I asked how Dato' Fazli know about my project, and he said, Dato' look it in the newspaper, and then ask him to find me. So that officer find me on the Facebook and directly contact me. And Alhamdulillah, now I secure another community project in Terengganu for this year. All right. Okay, this is the last component of this talk. At the end of the day, what is the soul that we want to carry in our heart? in my case, I could say I learned a lot from the bees. You know, if you look at the pictures of the bees, collecting nectar and pollen and bring back to their hive, uh, hive to produce the honey. So along the way of this, what we call foraging, this bee move from one flower to another flower, where this movement create a pollination activity. From that pollination, produce us fruits, and then give us food. And if not, that fruit fall on the ground and grow to become new tree that give us oxygen, give shade to us, get the root holding soil not to erosion, and then become home to biodiversity. And then the bee later on go back to their colony, produce honey as a remedy for the human being. So they live as a servant to the queen, the main queen, and then they live together, in their together, even the small bee working together, so they can take care of this universe, yeah, of this forest, and of these plants. And so from that, I create my own formula that I call it as a crown formula. What is it? It is the creator and relevant, organized, winning mindset, and also networking. So the creator is actually, this is our matlamat hidup, our goal in life. So we are servant to Allah. From Him we come, and then to Him we go back. So this become a one of our ultimate vision for the clever person. Okay, and then the second one is the relevant. Is it we are relevant as a Khalifah, or we just a worker to a system, right? So like the bee, they are living, to produce honey for their queen and for their colony, but along the way they actually doing the pollination that give benefit to the environment. So like us now, is it, of course the student is our main stakeholders, our client, but how about the society? Adakah kita kenal jiran kita hari ni? Does they receive the benefit from us now, right? So number 3 is the organized, so it is a bit difficult for us nowadays with all the burden, workload that we carry now. It's very difficult to organize, but when we tie our work to particular goal, I think it's easy for us to say no for other things, so that we are not simply grab whatever project that make us mess up, So the objective of the bee is very simple, right? So go collect nectar, along the way make the pollination, bring back and create the honey. All right. So, and the third and the fourth one is the winning mindset, like lebah. Even though they have a huge, purpose, and then doing things good for this alam, they actually very quiet, Right. So same like us, we hope that we could achieve something big to the society. We could do something good, but we are not, sombong, and then we should just focus to our work. That we didn't look for other people's mistake. That's the thing that the winner do. Right? Focus, and then don't look for other people's mistake, and keep humble. This is the thing. And then the final one is the networking, or also silaturahim. So how small bees could actually working together to take care of this world, right? And what about us? How we collaborate? Is it we collaborate because I want to gain benefit with you only, or and you didn't get benefit with me, or we both receive the benefit? But of course, beyond that, we want something conclusive, which give also pahala, the silaturahim. So on top of this, okay, the creator itself actually give us the purpose. So we never question why kita diciptakan, and then we know what we are doing every day. And the second part is the role, relevant, organized, and winning mindset, which this we want to know why we are doing this. All right. So sometimes people are relevant and organized, tapi they don't have a winning mindset. Dia banyak condemn orang lain je. So dia banyak tengok kesilapan orang lain. Or they have a winning mindset, focus, and also organized, but and have goal, but only for him. So it's not relevant for other people. It's just relevant for him to achieve his objective of achieve particular target, but no one get benefit from that. All right. So and then the last part is the own. This is the most important that gives us happiness, which is the organized, the winning mindset, and also the silaturahim. So we can be organized person, we can have winning mindset, but we don't have silaturahim. So all of a sudden, we successful in something, we want a big award, because of our goals and the way we work, and then with our focus. When we post to the Facebook, or or we share to our friend, nobody clap or nobody like it, because people don't feel the effect, because that's only for us, particularly. Okay, so this is most important, because ultimately for me, ultimately when you have all this, we create you to become a holistic person. All right. So alhamdulillah, for me, the Kulliyyah project really gave me a meaningful in life. I have a big tribe of beekeepers now. I think the beekeepers growing to more than 40,000. It's not my sole effort. I just train more than 4,000 beekeepers, but I could see the things, the industry now growing. So I really enjoying this moment. And it's become the amazing journey to secure big grant, to have opportunity to talk to the leaders in the country. And in fact, my big project, being put in a national stamp, until to be something that to be recognized. So as conclusion, CE actually is the place where we actually apply our teaching skill, our innovation, and our inspiration to be a solution provider for something that we preach, right? So something that all the great things that we claim from ourselves, and to carry the change to the society. So as for me, the CE is the platform where we wrap up our amazing works in university. And as for me, it is truly a liberty that my credibility as a scholar is not merely for personal expression, but more importantly as a medium to serve people whom I belong to. And so let's justify our job and legacy along with the life objective of a scholar to inspire humanity. So before I end, I would like to share this from the Surah Al-Qasas verse 77, dan carilah pada apa yang telah dianugerahkan Allah kepada kamu kebahagiaan di negeri akhirat, dan janganlah kamu melupakan bahagiamu dari kenikmatan duniawi, dan berbuat baiklah kepada orang lain sebagaimana Allah telah berbuat baik kepada kamu, dan janganlah kamu berbuat kerosakan di muka bumi. Sesungguhnya Allah tidak menyukai orang-orang yang membuat kerosakan. And then who is the manusia yang paling dicintai Allah? And Rasulullah SAW said, manusia yang paling dicintai Allah adalah orang yang paling bermanfaat kepada orang lain. So with that, I think I end my sharing. So the stamp where the Post Malaysia recognize my work in uphold the stainless steel industry, and I thank with that I end my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zulkifli Mustafa. Very inspiring, interesting talk. and how let us to become the holistic person in life. And maybe any questions from the floor? Any questions from the floor? I don't have the question from the chat box. So maybe Dr. Zulkifli, in order to maybe they are still thinking. Okay, my question is there any problem on the honey adulteration? How we cater this?
Sorry, come again.
Honey
How we?
honey adulteration. So how
Yes.
can we, because so many issue on the honey adulterations.
Yes.
So I think in Malaysia also there is many case also in honey adulterations,
Yes.
adulteration. Yeah. So how can we detect this? Any
Okay.
any yeah.
How we detect or we control?
Yeah, how we control? Yeah.
All right. Okay. Of course, the first thing, the fake comes when there is demand, right? When there are demands and there are no supply, so the fake honey will take place. Therefore, when we started this stainless steel industry, we are not immediately promote. In a big scale, we just grow the beekeeper first. So since 2013 until 2018, our work is just focused to produce as much as beekeepers, so that we increase the production. Because when there is a demand, when there is a production, and when demands come, there is enough supply. If not, and then we have to educate the user, the consumer also, on how to buy, to control this fake honey by buying from the real beekeepers. So there is no easy or shortcut ways to control this, because it's been in more than 40 years, in the industry keep going, as making a lot of people making a lot of money. Because if people just follow the international standard for honey, people can simply fabricate, bancho, or how we mix it in the lab, or in the factory, and produce the honey. So which that adulterated honey made the correct standard. But when we producing so-called natural organic honey, we have all sorts of parameters in order to make sure our different from the adulterate one. And then for Kulliyyah honey, we are lucky we have this 3 hydrolose sugar, where this sugar, it's for the time being very difficult to be synthesized in the lab. If you want to buy 3 hydrolose and put into the sugar water or normal honey to produce a stainless bee honey, usually it's much more expensive than you buy the original one. So now that 3 hydrolose, we aim to become a marker for the natural original stainless bee honey, right? So but as for now, to control, we have to educate consumer, buy from the real beekeepers. But before we reach to that level, we have to produce of beekeepers. Now more than 40,000 in Malaysia, the beekeepers. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe any questions from the floor?
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Zul.
Yes.
Tanya, did you still remember your first project with community engagement? Did you use your own money ataupun dapat grant yang sikit ke, macam mana?
Okay. Of course, if we talk about the community engagement and official project, it must be something when I reported as a staff of USM lah. So the first grant is the NCIA grant back in 2015. And then that time, before I get that grant, actually I already working on my own money, working on to produce the innovation for the hive, for how to do the beekeeping. And then, and luckily for me that time, I won the National Innovation Award from Mardi and gave me 35,000 cash. So I used that money to develop the first group of beekeepers for mass production. So a group from Penang recognized this work and then start to bring to offer me an NCIA grant. So I get that grant by showing them the successful model, but that successful model come initially from my own pocket money.
NCIA grant tu apa ya?
Macam mana? NCIA grant is a kind of, they give money so that I can use that money to prepare the colony, give to particular B40 group, and then help them to develop product and help them to develop kooperasi, and then create one honey processing center for them. So I received that money, so I developed farm from them. I select 15 beekeepers, and then I gave a colony. I trained them, and then help them to establish the collection and processing center, and then design product for them. Use that money to print box for them, and then help them to generate to form their first enterprise. And then later on the enterprise join their existing kooperasi. So that money about 135,000, and then I get 3 area, so almost 400,000 that particular time.
Dr. Zul, sorry, NCIA.
Yes. Oh, NCIA is the North Corridor Implementation Authority, macam ECER kita kot, ECER kita lah, tapi it's Northern region.
I see, okay.
I think we can approach now the Northern NCIA, the Teraju, the ECER, and then in Sabah Sarawak, Rekoda, or what else? The Johor corridor. So all these agency, they have money. It's just a matter that we have to show them how our project will change people in that particular region. So if our project in the East Coast, we want to change those who in the keropok industry ke apa-apa. So show them how we will transform them for sustainable income or improving quality of life and generate more income. So they giving the money, I think. So the one that I received from Teraju, 1.9 million for project in Sarawak. So to set up 6 area of the farming. So initially the project actually existing project, but the honey price went down up to 30 ringgit per kilogram. So nobody take care of the bees, and then they neglect the farm. So someone to Teraju, and Teraju find us in USM. So we propose our solution, and then we receive a grant. We went to the place, 6 daerah. So we so-called renovate that project, and then to become one commercial. And then now we are about to exit. We already signed the MOU from of that community with another company pemborong yang akan beli madu, and now the honey is in the Walmart in USA.
Doctor, how do you find or build contact with overseas people?
How?
How?
How what?
How do you find contact? How do you find
the contact?
or build contact or network with overseas people like Moroccan people tadi? Just, yeah, is it through your distributor?
Oh, okay.
Appointed distributor?
Those contact like NCIA, Teraju semua tu. The overseas. Oh, okay. Will be overseeing, actually, of course, in my case, I think I appear a lot on the social media, and people approach me. I keep saying about the quality of the honey. I'm talking about the good production. I'm talking about empowering people. So out of sudden, people comes and in contact with me. It's not like I approach people, and then but I only have a Facebook. I don't have Instagram. I don't have TikTok. I don't have other platform. I on specific on one Facebook, but that Facebook friend with many people. So this marketer who keep looking for the potential product immediately contact me, and then we start to discuss. And then, of course, from the university network also, like BJIM, Bahagian Jaringan Industri dan Masyarakat, I believe all university have this Jaringan Industri Masyarakat. They have all the connection with the companies and other things. It's just a matter that they outline what is the product that ready to go into the market. So, so I'm asking now, do we have that? In UIA, for example, do you have the table or a list of product that ready to go into the market, so that the BGIM people can keep talking, and then maybe VC or maybe directors, when they introduce a UIA, and then they say, okay, we already have this, they're ready to go to market. So that actually capturing the connection for those investor and marketers. All right.
Okay, Farah. It's okay, yeah. So I can summarize from Dr. Zulkifli that research should have the impact to community, yeah, through the community engagement. You have a very nice model now, the academic model, to combine academia in parallel to community to achieve the life goal and career visions. So I think this model is very inspiring us, yeah, as the academician. So if no other questions, I think we can close the session today. And then thank you very much, Dr. Zulkifli Mustafa. Maybe we can collaborate in the future. Yeah. So I myself, I work with the herbal, so many herbal for the diabetes. Maybe we can collaborate.
Oh.
Maybe we can mix with the honey.
Yes,
so I found many herbal native in Malaysia. This has been proved as diabetic. Maybe we can make the synergism effect on honey with the herbs. Maybe, yeah. Who knows? We can collaborate.
Inshallah. Interesting.
Inshallah. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Zulkifli again. Yeah. And then with that.
Thanks everyone.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Farah as well. Yeah.
Thank you everyone, and sorry anything wrong. You just keep sharing. But my important point here is the we should be what we call representative to our people now.
Yes.
So this current requirement for demand from the community, but along the way, surely we can do the commercialization. Right. With that, thank you very much for this opportunity, and thank you, Dr. Alfi, and thank you, Dr. Farah, and all the members in this session.
Okay.
Dr. Alfi, can we take picture?
Yes. Before we close, please, we make picture. Okay. Yeah. So I hope that everyone can turn on the camera. Yeah, I will snap page by page. Okay, I will snap it by page. So okay, ready? Okay, wait. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Wait, I will go another page. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much again, and let us end the session with the Tasbih Kifarah and Surat Al-Asr. Okay, with that, I would like to say Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and thank you very much for everyone.